It's Friday, December the 13th, 2013. I'm Mark Chansley and this is episode number 12 of T.E.N, Transport Evolved News for the week beginning December the 9th, 2013. After my week on holiday, I thought it was only fair to take on T.E.N this week and let Nikki rest. I say rest, she's writing all the news articles for the website today. Anyway, on with the show! The next generation of gaming consoles may have already been released, but there are still some games coming out for the PS3 and the Xbox 360s. One of these, an exclusive to the PlayStation, is the latest instalment of the excellent Gran Turismo series, the sixth in fact. This is a racing game that prides itself on realism. Each car is exquisitely rendered, along with the tracks being accurate to within a virtual inch. Add to that real-life aerodynamics, suspension, handling and all that geeky car stuff, and you have an excellent racing game fit for any car fan. But why are we covering this? Well, in this version of the game, car manufacturers were approached and asked to create a Gran Tourer concept coupe, and one of those manufacturers was Tesla. Enter the Tesla Vision Gran Turismo. With narrow, low-down, aggressive headlights, sweeping fenders and the classic GT stance, the Tesla Vision Gran Turismo is a race car through and through. It might be designed as a Gran Tourer, but we think its swept windshield, high wheel arches and heavily sloped bonnet owe more to the many classic Le Mans prototype classics we've seen over the years. Yeah, Nikki wrote that last bit. I just said the words, really. It looks like an awesome car, and we can't wait to get our hands on a copy of the game and have a go. How about you? Due to go on sale in 2014 as a 2015 model year, the all-new Mustang does away with the retro stylings of the previous model, but keeps its usual choice of 3.7 litre V6 or 5 litre V8 engines to power it. But to placate the more eco-minded buyers, you'll be able to buy the car with a 4-cylinder turbocharged EcoBoost option. But let's be brutal here, it's still going to drink gas like it's iced tea on a hot Alabama day. But according to Australian news site Go Auto, the mighty Mustang could be a whole new lease of life as an electric car. Talking with Go Auto at the Mustang's global launch last week, Bob Fassetti, Ford's global powertrain boss, said the automaker was looking at alternative drivetrain options for the next generation Mustang, including diesel, hybrid and perhaps an electric model. This isn't as crazy as it sounds. Offering a plug-in Mustang alongside its other models allows Ford to improve its overall fuel economy figures. That's because corporate average fuel economy standards in the US set average fuel economy figures for an entire brand, not specific cars. Therefore, if Ford offers a plug-in alongside its gasoline and diesel models, the entire average fuel economy across the fleet will improve. Even if Ford still offers the horrible massive V8 monstrosity. It's very sneaky, but it's interesting. When the Nissan Leaf turned 1, all of the plugs and sockets in this special video got together to sing it happy birthday in a very, very scary, uncanny valley sort of way. When the Nissan Leaf turned 2, Nissan USA created this massive birthday card and wrote all of the Facebook birthday wishes the Leaf had had inside it and then mailed it to the team in Tennessee. Absolutely amazing. When the Nissan Leaf turned 3, Nissan did, well, not a lot. But we haven't forgotten about you, Leafy. We didn't forget your big day. Having sold more than 87,000 units worldwide and now being made in 3 different factories all over the world, the Leaf is well on its way to being a big boy and becoming all grown up. So maybe you can let us know how you've enjoyed your Leaf or other people's Leafs over the past 3 years and we can collate them together and just celebrate. Go on. It could be argued that anyone who's driving an electric car today isn't really normal. But in Normal, Illinois, seeing electric cars on the street is totally normal. The town is home to more than 300 electric cars, equating to 1 electric car for every 180 residents. This is far higher than the US national average of 1 electric car for every 2,000 to 3,000 residents. So how did Normal do it? The answer is part legislation, part governmental support, a really great EV infrastructure and manufacturer investment. Mitsubishi North America's production facility has been based in Normal since the 1980s, and when times were tough for it in 2011, pro-EV Mayor Chris Coos, along with Illinois Governor Pat Quinn, worked hard to brand the town as an EV town. Part of this was the introduction of a massive incentive deal to encourage EV adoption in the area. Using federal grants, Normal purchased 48 Level 2 stations which it placed throughout the town, as well as 1 CHAdeMO DC quick charge unit. Earlier this year, the City Council voted 5-2 to approve a 5-year lease for 4 Tesla superchargers, making the town a stop-off point for any Model S owner, state resident or visitor. So basically, if you're ever in a town meeting and people are questioning the value of electric cars or their infrastructure, just tell them that they need to be more normal. That was an atrocious joke. I'm sure you all know who Paul Scott is, but for those who don't, here's a quick rundown. He's a long-term EV advocate. He was featured in Who Killed the Electric Car? He was a consulting producer on Revenge of the Electric Car. He used some of his savings to speak with President Obama about EV issues. The president then snubbed him. There's now a documentary about that being made. He co-founded Plug in America and, oh yes, he sells Nissan Leafs. Basically, he's a giant in the EV world. This week, he accepted a 2013 Government's Environmental and Economic Leadership Award on behalf of Nissan of downtown Los Angeles. The award recognises innovative spirit and value to California's environment and economy, and we can't think of a better person to accept it. So a big, massive well done to Paul Scott and Nissan of downtown LA for all you've done for the EV world. Thank you. The M4 has always had a special place in my heart. Well, as much as any road can. It was the road that took me from my parents' home to my university, where I started on my path to being a well-known and famous writer. It still might happen, shut up. Stretching from London and finishing 193 miles later in Pont Abraham, it's a well-used route for many who commute into London or for those who escape the city to the countryside of Wales. But now there's something even more special about it. This week saw the activation of a rapid charging station, both rapid DC and AC, which means that each and every service station along that motorway now has an electric car rapid charging point. Each location is within range of the next, meaning an electric car can now travel the whole distance without conserving power in the usual ways. I mean, this only happened a week ago, but I've had Nikki on the phone to me twice bragging about her heated trips in the fast lane. The charging station was installed by Ecotricity, an energy supplier in the UK that specialises in green energy. It's free to use for anyone who's applied for the special swipey card, and if you have an EV in the UK, you really should get a card and go road tripping. It's brilliant. This is part of their electric highway rollout, which is seeing them installing these charging stations all over the country at motorway service stations and IKEA stores. So it's only going to get better from here on in. We've probably all heard the argument before. Your electric car takes far more carbon to create than my petrol one. And while there's probably a little bit of truth in that, the balance is changing all the time as manufacturers embrace the eco and start to adapt their manufacturing processes, and even where they source their parts from. One change that happened this week will be of interest to US Leaf drivers. Whereas the copper wire from the Leaf's motor used to be shipped all the way from Japan, from now on Nissan USA will be sourcing the wire from a company based less than 300 miles away from the factory. In total, the locally sourced wire travels less than a tenth of the distance travelled by the Japanese sourced wire before it's installed in the Leaf. Just think of all the carbon that's being saved and not expelled because of this very simple change. Way to go, Nissan. Hopefully this shows where Nissan's going and that locally sourced parts will be a major factor in all of their processes going forward. We can always hope. Here at Transport Evolved, we love to follow the progress of self-driving cars. It seems every few weeks there's an announcement about one car or another that's being converted to self-drive as a testbed for the technology. But while everyone is busy working on the ins and outs of how exactly to make this work, RINSPEED has looked into something slightly different. How will we use these cars when they're available? They've come up with the all-electric Exchange, capital X and E, and while they haven't gone into huge detail, they have said that it features some very cool business class style seats that recline. They also allow passengers to face each other as needed. The steering wheel can be moved to the centre of the dash so it's out the way, so all you need to do is sit back, relax, listen to music, surf the web, play games, watch music, and just do all the decadent comfort things you want. Basically, it's like flying, but being on the ground, in a car, without a pilot. And I for one can't wait to get my hands on the first self-driving car and just see what it's really like. So come on everyone, hurry up, I really want to try one. That's it for this week. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of T.E.N. In the meantime, visit www.transportevolved.com for all the EV news that's fit to print. Subscribe to our channel and other shows on YouTube, and join us live on Sunday where we'll be discussing these stories and others on Transport Evolved. I'm Mark Chatterley, and until next time, stay juiced up! Talking with Go Auto at the Mustang's global launch last week, Bob Italian name person, Bob Faciti. Talking with Go Auto at the Mustang's global launch last week, Bob Faciti, Forbes Faciti, that's not his name! Facetti. Talking with Go Auto at the Mustang's global launch last week, Bob Facetti. Yes, that was right! Ah! And when times were rough at Mitsubishi back in 2011, a pro-EV mayor who's called something and someone else did something together and stuff happened. And it was great and we should all move there. Dubstep.